A common sleeping pill may reduce the buildup of Alzheimer's proteins, according to a new study. There's still so much we don't know about Alzheimer's disease, but the link between poor sleeping and worsening disease is one that researchers are exploring with gusto. In a study published in 2023, scientists found that using sleeping pills to get some shut-eye could reduce the buildup of toxic clumps of proteins in fluid that washes the brain clean every night. Researchers from Washington University St. Louis found people who took suvorexant, a common treatment for insomnia, for 2 nights at a sleep clinic, experienced a slight drop in 2 proteins, myeloid beta and tau, that pile up in the Alzheimer's disease. And though only short and involved a small group of healthy adults, the study is an interesting demonstration of the link between sleep and the molecular markers of Alzheimer's disease. Sleep disturbances can be an early warning sign of Alzheimer's disease that precedes other symptoms such as memory loss and cognitive decline. And by the first time they develop, levels of abnormal amyloid beta and almost peaking forms dumped clumps of plaque that clog up the brain cells. Researchers think promoting sleep could be one avenue to stave off Alzheimer's disease, and by allowing the sleeping brain to flush itself of leftover proteins and the day's other waste products. So that's how important our sleep is. It allows the brain to be washed clean. Now, while sleeping pills may help in that regard, it would be premature for people who are worried about developing Alzheimer's to interpret it as a reason to start taking suvorexant every night, said neurologist Brenda Lucy of Washington University Sleep Medical Center, who led the research. Well, maybe a nice glass of warm milk would do the trick of sleeping. Now, the study spanned just 2 nights and involved 38 middle-aged participants who showed no signs of cognitive impairment and had no sleep issues. Using sleeping pills for prolonged periods is not an ideal solution for those short on sleep either. It's quite easy to become dependent on them. Sleeping pills may also lull people into shallower bouts of sleep rather than deep sleep phases, and this could be problematic, as earlier research from Lucy and colleagues found a link between less good quality, slow-wave sleep and elevated levels of tau tangles and amyloid beta protein. In their latest study, Lucy and colleagues wanted to see if improved sleep with the aid of sleeping pills could lower levels of tau and amyloid beta in the cerebrospinal fluid that bathes the brain and spinal cord. Past research shows that even just 1 night of disrupted sleep can send amyloid beta levels rising. A group of volunteers aged 45 to 65 years old received one of the 2 doses of suvorexant or a placebo pill an hour after researchers tapped their cerebrospinal fluid to collect a small sample. The researchers continued to collect samples every 2 hours for 36 hours while the participants slept, and during the next day and night to measure how protein levels changed. There were no differences in sleep between the groups, and yet amyloid beta concentrations were reduced by between 10 and 20% with a dose of suvorexant usually prescribed for insomnia compared to the placebo. The higher dose of suvorexant also momentarily reduced levels of hyperphosphorylated tau, a modified form of the tau protein linked to the formation of tau tangles and cell death. However, this effect was only seen with some forms of tau, and tau concentrations sprung back up within 24 hours of taking the sleeping pill. If you can reduce tau phosphorylation, potentially there would be less tangle formation and less neuronal death, said Lucy, still hopeful that future studies in older adults testing sleeping pills for months could possibly measure a lasting effect on protein levels, whilst noting any downside of sleeping pills. Of course, this all rests on our understanding of what causes Alzheimer's disease. The leading theory that abnormal protein clumps drive Alzheimer's pathology has come under intense scrutiny lately after decades of research aimed at lowering amyloid levels has not translated into any useful drug or therapy that actually prevents or slows the disease. This has prompted researchers to rethink how Alzheimer's disease develops. In other words, sleeping pills may help some people get some shut-eye, but using them as a preventative treatment to ward off Alzheimer's disease is still a hazy prospect that hangs on a now shaky hypothesis of Alzheimer's pathology. And that said, there is increasing evidence linking sleep disturbances to Alzheimer's disease, a disease for which no treatment exists. Lucy says improving sleep hygiene and seeking treatment for sleep problems such as sleep apnea are both sensible approaches to improving general brain health at any age. I'm hopeful, she said, that we will eventually develop drugs that take advantage of the link between sleep and Alzheimer's to prevent cognitive decline. But he admitted we're not quite there yet. And the study was published at Annals of Neurology, and this is on Science Alert by Claire Watson. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.